Hey guys, welcome to Getting Started TV or Getting Started.tv. I haven't done a video in a while and I apologize for that. So I'm going to be doing a video here on Blade templating and kind of pulling apart a theme. It should be fairly quick. So I found this theme here on this new website I found. I just did a Google search for free Bootstrap themes, and this was an easy find. And this video looks pretty, this website looks pretty well put together. So what I'm going to do is they have themes where you can buy, but this one was free, so I ended up grabbing this one. And let me go over here, and this is just the HTML file for the theme here. Looks very nice. So it shouldn't be too hard to break this apart, but just so you know, I'll kind of take you through my process and see if that helps you guys. So in one Sublime, I guess, window, I have my whole Laravel.dev package, and this is Laravel 5.3. And I already have it loaded here on the site, and so everything's going good. And first thing I'm going to be messing with is routes, and of course in Laravel 5.3 routes moved. I'm pretty happy that they moved this routes outside of this folder because it was quite a mess to get to it. And then we're going to open web routes, and it should be blank. Oh, you know what? I had changed the name, so in one window I have, or one opening here with Sublime, one window, I guess I'll call it that. So in one window I have Laravel.test, and in the other I have the HTML file that we have, that I downloaded from the theme. So one thing is, I probably won't go too much into detail in this project on setting up. I'll probably save that for the next video. Probably with the same theme, so that way you guys can follow along. So for now I'm just going to kind of throw everything in public and just show you how I pull apart this theme. So let's go ahead. I'm going to open some stuff here in Finder and go to my projects. Public and CSS. So it looks like this is where the CSS is. I'm just going to drag all of these inside of public and go here and get rid of that right now. And then I'll go ahead and do the same thing with the fonts. I'll just drag them over. Images. Oh, well, there's not an images directory. Oh, wrong place. And wrong place. And then same thing with my JS file. So there's a ton of JavaScript here. It'll be fun in the next video when we start kind of combining these and using the power of Elixir for that. So now that we got that, and we got all of our files that we need, like our assets there, we're going to start messing with the view here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check for our routes right here. Here's the web. It's saying that the view is welcome, and I'll go ahead and just use that view. So we'll go into resources, views, and there's our welcome Blade template right here. And so of course that's our start for the Laravel package. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of delete that and just type in ASDF because it's the quickest thing to do. So the first thing I'll do is I'll create a new folder, call it layouts, and then inside of this folder I create a new file and I call this master.blade.php. Remember, Blade, to take advantage of Blade syntax, you got to just make sure that the file is named master.blade.php. I mean, it's still a PHP file. You're going to be doing a ton of HTML in it, and then you're going to have Blade syntax, but in order to take advantage of that Blade syntax, you got to make sure that that file name is just like that. It'll be file name.blade.php. So I'm going to go to the other document here, and you know, feel free to grab anything that you'd like. But if you want to grab this theme, there's the URL. You can pause the video and grab it, or I'll put it in the notes. So I'm going to grab this entire theme, and I'm just drop it here in my master.blade. So the idea behind my master.blade.php is that it's kind of the shell for my entire website. It's like my website's going to have kind of the same consistent look throughout. So first things first, I'll kind of go through here. Well, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go to our, here we have our master.blade.php. I'm going to go here to welcome.blade, and first thing I'm going to do is at extends string layouts dot master. Nope, semicolon. It's an old habit. And that's really all I got to do right now, and I should be able to see somewhat of this template. And I didn't expect it to go that well, but it did. I'm going to open my console to see if I got anything missing here. And it looks like it failed to load the favicon, so no worries there, because I would need to create one. What I tend to do whenever I have the masters with my assets here, but I'm just hitting Command D, Command, oh no, that's not going to work here. So here I do that. Command D, Command D, Command D. I like to add a / here. And really right now it doesn't matter because it's only one page, but the moment that you have other pages, this / tells it, hey, go to the root of the URL and then load the CSS folder. As opposed to the other way, that if you did it the other way, it would go to that folder that you're in, even though it's a path, and then load from that directory, from that path. So that's kind of one of the first things that I do kind of throughout here, if there's any paths and things like that. So here I'm just kind of scrolling through here to see if I see any other images. So I could just go kind of like right here and do source images, Command D, and that's all I'm hitting is Command D over and over and over again. Make sure I got all of them. When it stops kind of scrolling around, I know I got them all. And that's just the multiple cursors that you get in Sublime. It's pretty sweet. And then same thing here with these source files right here. Okay, so, and then the other thing too is usually when I do this, in layouts, I'll have two files. I'll have one called home.blade.php, and then I'll have another one called master.blade.php. So first things first, I'll tend to say, okay, here I want to be able to do something for this title, so I'll do an @yield, and then I'll say title, and that's the label for this. So yield is just a placeholder. It's like I want to put content here, but I'm going to put it from the child theme that extends it, and the label for that is going to be title. So here I know I already have a section that I can target that yield, and it's going to be title. I'm just going to add a comma and just say this is the welcome. And that's all I got to do there. Come back over here to the browser and notice that the title changed up here. So let's see, what else can we pull from here? Here I'll kind of leave all of that alone. One of the things that I'll tend to do is maybe even header or nav. Since it looks like there's nothing in here, I'll just kind of pull the header as well and call it nav, or maybe we could call it header. It really doesn't matter. And I just did Command X, so I cut that, and I'm going to just do @include, and I usually do partials and then .nav, and that's for the nav. And then you're asking me, well, where's partials and where's nav? Well, I haven't created those. I have everything kind of in the clipboard of the computer. So now I'm going to do right click, create a folder, call it partials. Then I'm going to right click, do a file, call it nav.blade.php. Remember that. And then, you know, kind of fix my tab in here a little bit because I'm a stickler for that. Go back over here and everything should be fine and nothing changed. A lot of times, you know, just to be sure, like I'll do that, I put a little number 2 next to contact or something, so it's something visual for me to see that it actually is loading that. So we separated that, and now, you know, our template is getting a little bit nicer. So we look at here, and we're looking at this carousel here. If I go back to the view and see, oh, okay, it's this carousel right here that I'm looking to break away. It's almost like the website's already broken in sections, like this particular website. So it's like I could grab this entire thing right here, and that would be one section. So let's do, this is section home right here. And so I could break that away and include partials home. And then I would go to partials, right click, new file, home.blade.php, paste that in there. Everything should look the same. Everything looks great. If I look in here, I'm trying to think of anything here. Well, these are images and things like that. So anytime I want to update that, I would do that here. I would come in here and say, hey, I want to add another item to the slider, and this would be here. And because this right here is kind of consistent, I can almost make this where it's looping through something coming from a database or something like that. So going through here again, I'm just going to kind of do the same thing. Here's explore, include partials, explore. Explore. This one's right here is event. So obviously this right here could be events that are coming from a database as well. So include partials, then events. Then we'll right click and create that new file, events.blade.php. Fix my tabbing. Here, this is the about section. Same thing. See, in this one right here, I might do a little bit different here. Because there has to be a section here on the website where I actually have content coming in from the different pages. Obviously on the other site, or let's say the other pages, I might not have. We'll do that. We'll do that. I'll just show you here. So here, I'm not going to break this one out just right yet. I'll bring it back over here, and what I'm going to end up doing is using this kind of like as my main section. So here, I'm going to say that this is going to be, let me see, make sure I didn't leave an extra div hanging. Nope. Okay, this is going to be my at yield content. And then of course this will all go in like that. Then I'm going to go back to my welcome blade, and now I have a content section. So I'm going to do section content and do this one a little bit different. I'm going to paste that HTML right there for the welcome. And then I'm going to do at end section. One, so then that's there. This is going to be where the meat of my page is. This is the Twitter feed, so we'll go ahead and pull that Twitter feed. I'm just going to rename this one since I'm not using this one anymore, and just say Twitter. And then same thing with sponsor. And we're almost there, people. We're almost there. Include, I think I forgot to put the Twitter. Include partials.twitter, and then I'm going to do another one for sponsors. Last but not least, I think it's last. Content. Contact, not content. Contact.blade.php. Same thing there. and then footer as well. Partials, contact, and at include partials, footer. File footer.blade.php. If you can't tell, I have heavy fingers. Sometimes I would break this up into scripts, and you can do that as well. I mean, it doesn't hurt to break that up. One thing I would say is that sometimes I'll do this right here, and I'll say at yield bottom scripts, and then up here I do at yield top scripts. We could call it top scripts or header or something like that. And then we could break these off into another, into another partial. But what I probably want to show you in the next video is we'll squash these to be one minified JavaScript file, and then the same thing with these CSS files using Elixir. So here we'll just leave these alone for now. Now the reason I do these, remember that these yields, these are placeholders, and these right here inside the strings, those are kind of the labels for those placeholders. So here I have at yield title, at yield top scripts. This is a placeholder, so you think of it as like anywhere inside of here. If I wanted to add some extra code, maybe another CSS file, or maybe style, or if down here I wanted to add additional scripts, I could. With that being said, I could do something like at section and say something like bottom, bottom scripts, and then you have your at end section here, and then you would start off with like a script tag right here, or it could be a script source if you wanted to, and say alert test. I know it's the syntax highlighting is kind of off right here. For some reason it has to do with that apostrophe, but that's fine. So let's go over here and check this out real quick. Load it, and there's my alert. So you can see that I inserted JavaScript into the main template just by using this at yield, and you could do the same thing with TopScript, if you wanted to put styles up there or something else. So those are just placeholders. Now you don't need to use them, you could just leave it like this. So it's there if you need to, but you don't necessarily need to use it. And so if we look at this, the way we separate everything is like I put everything in partials, and kind of like the meat of it, I kind of left it alone here. If I were redoing this, I think what I'd probably do is, well, let's do that. Let's we'll do a file, and we'll do save as here, and we'll say this is home.blade.php. So this is kind of like what the home page would look like. Let me close some of these other files. And then I go back to welcome, and I say welcome, instead of it extending master, it's going to extend home. And of course, nothing should change here. We just kind of rerouted that, so everything looks the same. But let's say that in my master file, like it's like the home page, oh yeah, this is the one that has the pizzazz, it's like the one that looks really well. And then for the remainder of the pages, maybe I only wanted this about section for the content. I didn't want this huge picture header and all of that. Well, let's go ahead and take care of that. So now our home is being loaded. This master is going to be pretty much everything else. So then you can argue and say, well, then this should be in its own partial, and each one should include that, and that's fine. You can do that. We could do that as well, and we'll call that head. So that way we can, get rid of repetitive data. So here, let's say I didn't want this home section right here. I didn't want the partials or explorer to be there. I just wanted the nav to be there. And then, we'll create another view. We'll just call it page.blade.php. This one's going to add extends layouts.master at section content at end section. Oh, it doesn't need anything there. I'll just put another page. So here, then I need to create a route for this. Open a route. We'll just copy that. We'll call it page, because why not? We'll call this page. Hopefully it doesn't blow up in my face. So as you can see here, you know, there's some styling issues here up toward the top. We can't see the actual content, but you know, I'm able to scroll and all that. So let's go ahead and take care of that, and let's say that here in my layouts, master, maybe I just need another div for now. This is master, sorry, home. Let's say I do want like explore maybe, or something like that. See if that gives us a little bit more. See, so of course, obviously, I have to do something to kind of pull this down a little bit, and maybe I would put the title of the page right here. So it would be like some block up here, and then I would start. But as you can see, there's the content of the page. So I did separate the areas. I'm wondering what this is right here. I'm missing a block or something right here, but I can figure that out. Let's say we're in the master. I don't need contact. I don't need Twitter. Sponsors. Yeah, I do need contact. Maybe I want the contact on every page. And obviously there's some CSS stuff going on right here with this blank space that we can view. So as you can see, this is the way that I would break apart a Blade template. You know, and I just did a Google search for a Bootstrap template, so be sure to do the same, and so that way you practice breaking these apart and trying to figure out how you can get these to kind of you know, be consistent from page to page to page. Here I'll just create one called heading.blade.php, and then here's my master. I'm going to take all of that because it's going to be the same, hopefully, and I have this yield, so that way I could, you know, alter it if I need to, and then just do the same at include partials heading, or head. I think I'm going to call it head. Go to partials down here and rename this to head. And then that should load the same. Let's load the home page. That should load the same. And then I'm going to do include partials.head. So as you can see, both pages are using the same thing. I could do the same thing for here if I wanted to. And then so the master file, you know, the master layouts look very clean when you look at them. If you want to mess with the Twitter section of the website, then you would go here to partials and you would look for the Twitter, and then you would just interact with this one right here. And it's a good way to kind of separate everything. Well guys, thanks for watching, and I'll be posting some more videos soon on Laravel. Be sure to follow me on at IcemanCast on Twitter, and send me a tweet if you have any ideas of some future videos that you'd like me to do on Laravel. Some other stuff I'd like to mess with is a JavaScript stack, so if you ask me a question, maybe I'll figure something out and we can put something together. Be sure to go to gettingstarted.tv and sign up for the newsletter, because I'll be starting to send some newsletters out pretty soon with some other videos that I'll be pushing out. Thank you again, and see you next time.